Hello friends, Patrick McFarlane here of the Liberty Weekly podcast and the Liberty Weekly Let's Play channel. How's it going? This is chapter 5. We are playing the second grand battle of the game, which is Shiloh. And it is epic. I have played it before. From the Confederacy side. But we're just going to go into the battle prep mode here. As you'll recall, in episode 4, we lost some generals, which irritated the hell out of me, to be honest. Archer died. And, it was a sad time for all. However, we're going to increase our army organization for this one. I'd like to increase politics, medicine, or training, however. That's not really an option because I don't want to go into the Grand Battle of Shiloh without enough soldiers, an adequate number of soldiers. So we're going to try and improve our leadership here by getting another good general, Jubal Early. Although I won't be using him in this battle, so I don't know why I chose him. Because I don't want to spend all my soldiers replenishing, you know, the first corps. What I'd really like to do is choose someone cool looking, like... maybe not. Perhaps not. So, we're just going to do all the housekeeping tasks here. Discipline. We're going to be creating a new division here. Infantry brigades. The wife is obsessed with Frasier, so if you hear anything, that's her in the background. She just gave me a cold look. A cold, dead stare. I've recorded quite a few shows this week, and because my computer's in the living room, she was very patient with me. But I wanted to stream some video games, and usually video games have background noise in it that will cancel out any ambient noise that you hear. So, sorry, just trying to figure out... Alright, I'll have to use this palmetto. Trying to figure out how many I can use. And now the cats are wrestling on the floor. They're jumping over each other. My one cat likes to do a bunch of, like, she did a backflip in the air and rabbit kicked my other cat in the face with her back feet. It was pretty intense. Pretty epic. But, so yeah, I just wanted I thought I would include these, the moments when I'm prepping the army. It adds for a more immersive experience so you can see my tactical decisions as I get ready for each battle. I don't have quite so many... It's early on in the game and we don't have quite as many options available in the barracks. So we'll just be spitballing it here. I would like to have another cannon here. But we're going to try and make sure that we have all the supplies that we can get for this battle. I will be sending in the second corps, because I said so. Let's see, we have, okay, some leftovers. See, Hall is just a captain. I think that's just about it. I spent all my government stuff. I have everything else. And let's see, the correspondence. We have captured correspondence. Basically the enemy asking for more soldiers. And that's about it. That's pretty much all that they do. But now let's talk a little bit about Shiloh. It's the second grand battle in the game. It happened on the 6th of April, 1862. It was a 2-day battle, as I recall. What happened in I was just watching this on the Netflix has the Ken Burns documentary, which I've heard has not necessarily factual errors in it, but is inaccurate in some parts. But from what I recall, it was the first day the Confederates won and pushed, as you'll see, from south to north, pushed all of the Union soldiers into Pittsburgh Landing on the first day. The Confederacy had a huge massacre where they killed a bunch of Union soldiers in the Hornets' Nest. It was intense fighting. On the second day, they got stalled, and there was a Union counterattack, and it pushed the Confederates out of Pittsburgh Landing, as I recall. I'm no expert on this or anything, but so that's what I recall. The goal for our battle today, and it should be lasting about an hour, so bear with me, but the goal for our battle today is going to be to win on the first day and not let it go to the second day, where we have to experience that Union counterattack and then try and push them off of Pittsburgh Landing. They also have artillery support from the river where they can fire. See this river here. So yes, the first day the Confederacy, they pushed up and they got to this line right here where the Union soldiers were on Pittsburgh Landing. And then if you don't win the first day, the second day, the Union, they have reinforcements and they have this line, and all they do is just push you out. So we're going to try and attack at dawn, sweep the Confederates, or sweep the Union from the field, and try to sustain minimal losses. So it'll be interesting how that all goes out. But to read the description here, just quickly, Major General U.S. Grant has transported his Army of the Tennessee to Pittsburgh Landing, located at the west bank of the Tennessee River. Grant is expecting Major General Don Carlos Buell to join him tomorrow with the Army of Ohio. Together, they will advance to Corinth, 22 miles southwest. That's some weird punctuation. I don't know if that's a comma or a period, but together, they will advance to Corinth, 22 miles southwest, deep into Confederate territory. The Union Army is scattered into multiple encampments south of Pittsburgh Landing, unaware that we are going to execute a surprise attack at dawn. Our goal is to defeat and destroy Grant's army before Carlos Buell arrives. You will lead the attack at the Union right flank, and you will be in general command of 2nd Corps of General Bragg and Reserve Corps of General Breckinridge that will assault their left flank. So let's get to it. Actually, hold on a sec. Why? Oh, okay, that was my 1st Corps. The 2nd Corps is supposed to have 2... Okay, just checking. I wanted to make sure that I had 2 sets of cannons. Right, so this is where the Army of the Tennessee is landing. They're preparing to advance further south to Corinth. We're going to attack them at dawn when they least expect it. Our corps will arrive from the southwest, as already laid out. The Yanks are encamped and have most of their forces here. If we attack swiftly, we might catch them completely unguarded and capture their supplies, which will be a goal. We're really going to have to preserve our cavalry units because that is what we're going to use. So the slight ridge at Shiloh Church enables a formidable natural defense and should be seized to secure our left flank. We're going to hide some soldiers in the trees there. Hopefully we can get this all done in one take. We're really going to try and push them from the field in the first day. On the right, we have to overcome this hilly terrain, and then we can safely proceed to the north. The last Union defense is expected here at Pittsburgh Landing. Watch for enemy gunboats on the Tennessee River that can bombard from long distance. Here we go. So we're advancing towards the Union camp now. We have to overrun their right flank at Shiloh Church. They're encamped here currently. We have to move fast, as stated over and over. So, we have all of these. We have never used this corps in a battle before, and if I recall correctly, I think that at the original Battle of Shiloh, the Confederate army was also made up of greenhorns, of rookies that had not seen action either. So I'm wondering where, as in, I had already started started this battle with a first take and got 10 minutes in, and when I started the game there was a lag, but I had my frames per second was too high. And for a game like this, you don't need 48 frames per second or shit. That was only 4 guys, so you don't need a whole bunch of FPS for a game like this. It's not a first-person shooter or anything. Okay, and as I said, we're trying to preserve the cavalry units. And he's gonna get hit here. Stupid skirmishes. So I'm gonna turn off the supply because a big part of this battle is preserving your supplies. Because your reinforcements come in from the right side and they do not have enough supplies, which is irritating as all get out because you can't control that at all. So we're just advancing now, trying to preserve our soldiers, get them there to the battle. I advance time a little more quickly. I really want my soldiers to push up through here. We're going to merge right here and catch them unawares. These 3 guys are going to sit right in here. And what I've been doing in past battles when I won this before is I've stayed in these trees here and made the enemy come to me so I can engage them when they're on the banks and standing out in the open. All that jazz that they said about, you know, going up here, it doesn't really work out in practice because the enemy just sits in these trees and they're under cover. So we really, I think usually I put my cannons right there, or the last time I had. We're going to save Stuart, and as I said, the whole point will be to try and send him around the flank. Oh, good. My second attack wave. Brilliant. Okay. I was wondering where my cannons were. Catching them early in the morning, apparently. It's going to be important to get these soldiers up here right quick, so we're going to be double time. I'm going to make sure they're just enough in the trees, but that they also are in range, close enough range to hit them. Right, I want you to get into the trees and not just stop outside of the trees. Alright, there we go. So I'm trying to get Garfield's brigade to go into these houses here, and hopefully they'll get the cover bonus. And hopefully these houses are large enough to give them the cover bonus. As we can see here, it's around 55, but I really would like them to be under more cover than that. You can see that Stayhill's brigade has already taken some casualties that I did not see. Okay, so perhaps I will be sending my soldiers into this area here. Alright, so I'm going to have Garfield run and then hit Hildebrand's brigade, as you can see there. Okay. This is not working super well. Freaking cavalry is doing stuff. Okay, but that was fine. Alright. Now we want to push these guys up. Okay. So Finnegan is just getting wrecked right now. Way too many soldiers to lose right there. And this is not really going the way that I wanted it to right now. But, we'll see. That was unfortunate. You know, you would think that by going into these secured positions, these farm fortifications, that would actually work. You know, because that's the implication, right? It doesn't. You get better cover if you don't use that. Stupid. Alright, so we're keeping Finnegan's brigade in back up here. They really like to drift on you. Like this, you gotta really pin them down. Although we're gonna wreck these guys. Okay, so that was pretty easy. That was the preliminary part. I don't think we lost that many soldiers, but now we're going to be attacking the other flank. So the name of the game is going to be pushing forward equally on all fronts and really catching them by surprise and massacring them. And I'm not really wanting to be too conservative with my soldiers here because they're not mine. Tragedy of the commons, if you will. And hopefully I got the video settings set up all right. This should be, if everything went according to plan, this should be the highest quality video that I put out in this series so far in terms of resolution. I don't know about content. But we're going to be getting it once we go back to the other side. They're going to be counterattacking and trying to push us from Shiloh Church. Hopefully I left my soldiers in a good enough position to repel that attack. We're going to be wanting to take our cannons and putting them right here where they can be the most effective. But look at this, we just get a whole buttload of soldiers here, so there are some skirmishers in these woods that I'm going to have to push back. But this guy should be parked right in these trees to fire right there. And then I'm going to have this brigade go around to the side and fire here. There should be some soldiers up in here, but I'll have Gladden come and push them out. Again, we're going to set the supply wagon not to resupply because we're trying to be very conservative here with that ammunition. And we're going to double time it into position just as to not put ourselves in a position where we're going to be fired on when we're moving into position. As I said, Gladden can take care of them. Nope, nope, okay. Gladden will be taking care of Stewart. At this point, one of the biggest things is, yeah, just to get rid of that cannon, because they're going to hit us with canister. Should be setting up those cannons back there. See, Jenkins lost 22 guys. Good, we routed that cannon. We'll be trying to move up and get the most shots that we can on these guys while they're encamped. Make sure that Gladden is in position to protect their ass. Push forward, push them out. I do like that when you play the grand battles, how the game will break them up into manageable chunks instead of just having, well, you'll see later on how we have so many units on screen at one time. Really want to take care of that battery. Alright, make sure that they're in enough cover before we open up on them. Good. We're pushing back this artillery piece. I should send Jenkins in to go secure those supplies. This will be really important going forward. Make sure that we put as much fire on this brigade as possible. Try and kill as many Yankees as we can going forward. Gladden is getting wrecked. Go back in the trees where we can get some cover. And then open fire. Hopefully there isn't a hidden brigade in here that I just don't know about. Stewart should be wavering. There we go. Good. Okay. Nope, 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 nope. What? Oh my god. See, another thing about this game that I hate. Great, now I won't get those supplies. It is annoying how they do that. Okay, now meanwhile, over here, I don't like Scribner here. He's under the least amount of cover. And then I might leave Garfield kind of in quasi-reserve there. Okay, you know, this is going decent so far. Kind of upset that Stay Hell has lost so many soldiers, but look at how many kills they have. 510. 93 kills, 9 deaths. 132, 222, 63, 6 deaths. 189 kills. You know, not really that body count matters too much because the Union really can fill uniforms. So where's our cavalry unit? Hello. Stewart. Good old Jeb Stewart. It'd be nice to have like a vantage point around here so I can look and see what's going on, what their movements are. I really need to capture some supplies. That will be my focus when we return to the other battle. It should, once we return, it should be the Hornet's Nest. Now I might put Finnegan over here because if they counterattack and get their soldiers all lined up here, I can have Stayhill and Finnegan emerge and push up this and flank them. Doesn't look like Terry can see much of anything from there. I'm gonna go to the topographical view, or the, what do they call that? Depth view? Depth view. Alright, where's the counterattacking enemy? Can't really see much of anything. I kind of hesitate to send Stewart across because all of a sudden, surprise. Okay, there's McDowell. Put some fire on them. Hopefully there's not a bunch of soldiers sitting up there. Okay. Well, we know where some enemy cavalry is. Right, okay. This is a decent setup here. Maybe I'll send Ewell's brigade up. Well, I guess I didn't have to. Alright, I'm disappointed right now, guys, because usually this is a lot more active. Usually, the first time I played this, I was engaging enemies on all fronts here. They were pushing me. Maybe they're saving this. It's kind of ominous a little bit because I don't know where any of the enemy soldiers are. Any supplies up here? Anybody want to come out and play? Just wreck. Yeah, let's go, Stuart. Okay, 2 minutes left, then we're gonna go back to the other side. I don't know where this vicious counterattack is, but I guess that's it. Okay. We're counting on you. This is very dire, but there's no counterattack to speak of. Well, we want them supplies. Let's go. Give me dats. Don't care about them. Ignore them. Just get them supplies. Fucking kidding me. Pathetic. Okay, now we have the supplies. For Christ's sake. Honestly, this wagon of supplies is worth, you know, a whole lot. Now there should be a second group. Okay, they're already in position. Breckenridge. Gonna try and get our troops in this copse of trees here. is not good. They might retake those supplies. No. Meanwhile, Jenkins, like an idiot, is going to run into... Damn it. Alright, Jackson, let's go. Seriously, Jenkins. It's one volley from a force 1/6 your size. We need them supplies. We'll let them set up shop in the Hornet's Nest because we can surround them and just pound them into dust. But we need those supplies, and this Ingersoll is just toying with Jenkins, who is a pathetic excuse for a cavalry officer. Oh shit. He's screwed, man. Jenkins, you failed me. So I don't want to push Stewart that far away because otherwise he's going to get caught behind me. What is this melee sound? Alright, Gibson, you're just going to stay put. Alright, good. Jenkins, you're good for something now. Too bad we can't just run in and just kill U.S. Grant. Would probably save us a whole lot of trouble. Okay, so things are developing okay. We didn't get them supplies because Jenkins is incompetent. Almost as incompetent as Powell is. As you can see, Pond is already almost out of ammunition. That does not bode very well, because there's a lot more to go. That's why we need to get them supplies, and that's why Jenkins is ruining everything. Because they launched this entire half of the army without adequate supplies. But we have a lot of time to develop this side of the battle. As you can see, in mission time, there's 2 hours and 24 minutes. So we're going to have ammo resupply. I pulled back from this position. I didn't want Gibson to be overextended a little. We have Pond being resupplied, but look, it's already halfway gone. Alright, I can see them moving. I kind of want to hit Tuttle and catch him out of position. Or catch him out in the open, rather. Still in pursuit of them supplies. We're going to put our artillery in place. Then we'll launch our assault on the Hornet's Nest once we are in position. Alright, let's put the men in. Not quite in position, but have Pond, who sucked up our entire supplies. We're going to put Statham in those trees. Have Martin keep pushing forward on the side. And then surround them like a boa constrictor. See, we're having them run up. This is a very important part of the trees. Want to make sure that, there we go, Powell, hopefully he routes. Alright, this is not good. That Anderson is so out in the open all by himself. Colonel Jason Statham. They're being very oddly protective of their supplies. General's being very cautious. I think we're doing a good job of moving in, though. I do not want Gibson to go in all by himself, however. If he starts getting fired on, I'm going to take him back. So we're moving into the Hornet's Nest now. Trying to coordinate it on all fronts so that we are just one mass moving forwards. Yeah, there you go. Screw you, Powell. Get out of here. See if we can move Martin up. So now we're converging on the Hornet's Nest. And we're going to give it its name. If anyone is wondering why it's called the Hornet's Nest, it's because the bullets were flying so thick that they sounded like a swarm of bees. The History Channel did a bunch of really good series of documentaries, including reenactments of these famous parts. Alright, that's not a good look for Martin, so we're going to pull him out. He's getting hit up on this side. Been running a lot, so I only see one supply wagon unless there's a bunch more supplies in here, but everyone needs to be converging at one time. Right now Martin is just kind of providing flank support. I don't want to put him in because you saw what happened. But I'm just going to charge. Because I don't want to sit around and waste all my ammunition. They're going to sit around in this Hornet's Nest where they have a whole bunch of cover. It's fine if Anderson retreats as long as he makes the others retreat. Alright, so now our soldiers are exhausted, but at least they're not sitting in the Hornet's Nest anymore. We've been able to push them out. We didn't get those supplies that we wanted, but we're not just standing around shooting up all of our supplies. And in some sense, this game is all about... I should just have him move up and put some fire on this. In some sense, this game is just all about taking ground. Freaking Ingersoll. Okay, so now the whole map is going to open up. And all we have to do is secure that point. Seems like an easy task, does it not? Well, think again. Alright, so now the map opens up. My force down here is doing pretty well. But the enemy is retreating. I put it in slow motion just to manage all the forces while the map opened up. So Gibson, you're standing out in the open and engaging. And I don't know where this melee sound is coming from, but it's there. Alright, so we're going to have Gladden come up. Breckenridge needs to be in there for morale reasons. Okay, so that's where the enemy is. At this point, I don't really know if I want to charge headlong. But the enemy should be retreating. I just want to push him back. If we hit... There's only 2 brigades, so if we hit them all at once... Oh, I don't like to see Kershaw getting hit like that. Because these are my guys, remember? Slowly push all the men forward. We still have all of our supplies on this side, so that's a saving grace. These guys are almost all totally fully supplied. But I don't want to get into a slugfest in these woods here with Stayhill. Okay, so we have routed Richardson a little bit. He's shaken. We have Finnegan and Stayhill. Oh, we have 2 Stayhills? Wonder if they're brothers or something. pond. I don't like pond getting hit from the side. So until we get Anderson up there. Yeah, they're all hiding in these trees up here, which is not what they usually do. Okay, so we have 2 hours and 36 minutes to push up north towards Pittsburgh Landing. I want to constantly be pushing. I still don't know where that melee sound is coming from. Makes me think that I have soldiers committed somewhere that I don't. Now I want excuse me, I want to let Buckland go wherever he needs to go. I don't want to pursue him too far that way because then he's going to get stuck behind my line and then I'll be worried about him the whole time. He's still kind of wanting to engage though. Well, we'll put one or two more volleys into him and see if he still wants to stand and fight. Alright, we're still in slow motion, just to try and manage all these forces that we have on screen. We have Scribner over here. What he really needs to be doing is going over there. Alright, now we have some forces resting. The good thing about having it in like slower motion is that if you forget about some forces and they're not doing anything that they should be doing, you can realize it and correct the problem before too long. But as you can see, we have forces that are running out of ammunition, and that's not a good thing. But my force has most of its ammunition, so... I do kind of want to charge in and just clear them out so we're not just... Maybe I'll do that. I don't want them to sit in cover and just... Because they're preventing me from advancing, basically. Should be letting Trabu rest a little bit. So, as far as I know, everything that's happened so far went pretty much according to history. Not, you know, pretty much, but just generally, in broad strokes. The Confederates take the first day. They get into a real slugfest around the Hornet's Nest, which I pushed through. Where is our supply wagon? Here it is. Needs to get over there and replenish some supplies. So we're going to have Finnegan retreat and pull back. I really need to, all I need to do is concentrate all my soldiers up here, so we're going to make a concerted effort to push. We have the supply wagon coming up very slowly. Finnegan, you've ran away enough. Like I said, I really do not want Buckland to get caught in this area, so I have to constantly be devoting soldiers to keeping him at bay. It's good that Woods has most of his supply yet. This will exhaust his supplies. It doesn't take much, seriously. When I really want to be making my final assault is when I only have about an hour left. Move Terry up. Okay, so things are going decently. We do have a lot of soldiers trapped in here. I want to have every man possible free to make the final assault, because at the end of the day, that's all that matters. Looks like they're trying to make a bit of a counterattack. But I'm glad, because it looks like I destroyed a bunch of guns. See if we can't, excuse me, send Jenkins in. Worthless scum. There's Buckland. There we go. Here's an opportunity to take some supplies. There we go. Wraith is getting hit. Surprised they didn't rout. Hare's moving out. Good. We need to continue rolling up this line here. Look at how many regiments or brigades I have just tied up here that could be up here supporting and trying to knock back this counterattack. Finnegan is in good cover, 87%. Buckland also is not in good cover, so you can see his numbers dropping. I'm gonna see if I can't send in Stewart to pick up these supplies. It's sorely needed. Two supplies. This would be worth it even if Stewart suffers a bunch of casualties, but the problem is that he's getting hung up. I don't want him to, obviously. They won't just do what you say. Stewart's going to suffer massive casualties. No charging. Alright, I think we might actually get the supplies this time. Knock on wood. But we're running out of time to make our final assault because we've been so caught up here. Douglas is almost out. We still haven't used woods too much, so while we captured those supplies, it's not going to be fun to try and replace Stewart's lost men. And Buckland is getting caught behind my lines. Exactly what I didn't want him to do. And Stewart can't just capture the damn supplies. Okay, good. Now we're finally pushing these men out. Good. I don't want to get carried away with chasing Buckland and McDowell and Wraith all over the map. Damn it. Okay, we're doing decent on supplies so far. Yeah, they're gonna take the supplies. Well, all we can do now is make the final assault. Supplies or no supplies. It would have been nice to get them. Woods is out. There's several brigades that are blinking supplies. I'm just gonna make a save. Before the final assault in case anything goes wrong. Yeah, Stewart is... he's getting wrecked. He needs to get out of there. About as useful here as he was at the Battle of Gettysburg. Look at that, just wrecking MacArthur. Stewart is getting wrecked, which is unfortunate. I hope he doesn't die, but he's probably done for the map. Peabody's gonna get wrecked. And that melee sound is still going. I don't know who's in a pitched battle right now. We're going to try and get these guys to move up so we can make that final push. We're just going to have Stewart run away the rest of the game. Jeez, Buckland and Wraith and that other regiment have just been so irritating this whole game. Douglas is out. Woods. I'm gonna get Woods right in the middle, and then I'm just gonna let him start resupplying people. We're gonna do as much as we can before we make the final assault, which needs to happen soon. So I'm gonna start sending in soldiers. Tribou is the biggest brigade, so Andy's not mine. but I am running out of time here. I spend too much time dicking around. I think it lets you go overtime a little bit too, so not the end of the world. We're just gonna try and put all of our cannons up there. Getting some good shots. Stewart's retreating. Making that final assault. Ooh, I don't want to put Finnegan in there. These are all my boys. But they're gonna have to go in. Have to put Jackson in there for the morale. Here we go. It's the final assault. On Pittsburgh Landing. Pushing them Yankees back all day. Can we achieve what the Confederates could not achieve in real life? So far we're inflicting some grievous losses on the enemy. We've lost about 18% of our men. And our men are thinking that it's a good idea to parade around. Look how thick they are. And these guys are just having a grand old time back there doing nothing. Being irrelevant. Wraith. God. So irritating. Let's see, there's a bunch of exhausted units up here. Where's Tribou at? Yeah, alright, we're gonna send him in. No, not Finnegan. We're gonna have to go in. Man, these guys have it nice. Oh, those are my guys. I want to protect them. Yay! I secured Pittsburgh Landing. "20 seconds. I need to hold it for 20 more seconds. Double quick. You guys need to get in there. Gladden, get in there. Finnegan, I don't even care right now. Get in there. Look at those guys sitting back there, collecting a paycheck. Poor Martin. They had it bad the whole time. They were always on the flank. Okay, well, we did it so far. 13 seconds left that we have to contest Pittsburgh Landing for. We're getting our artillery just swept up, but I don't think they're mine. There's more important things happening right now. Statham, get back in there. This is pretty epic. Uh-oh. One of my generals just got wounded. I think we'll hold the landing. Statham needs to get up there. As soon as we get to 0 seconds, then we can end. Pond needs to get in there. Gotta end this battle on day 1. Turbo's getting wrecked. Yes. Okay. Victory. That was intense, guys. See, there was much more casualties on the Union side, but we had a lot less men, so... But we did take the day. Intense. Alright, everyone. Well, that was the Battle of Shiloh. The second grand battle of the game, I believe. We had... Oh, I'm rewarded a new general and a cavalry unit and 14,000 soldiers to improve my army with 10 reputation points and 2 career points. Whew. That was intense, everybody. But thanks for watching. In the next one, let's see what's up next. In the next one, we'll go through and try and fix the army, replenish it with soldiers, see what we can do there. The next grand battle is Gaines Mill, which will be very interesting as well. So, really appreciate you joining me for this and sticking through till the end. It was a pretty epic battle. If you would, please check out my regular content at libertyweekly.net or youtube.com/libertyweekly, bitshoot.com/libertyweekly, and subscribe to the podcast through the links below. But thanks again, and we'll catch you for part 6.